Good morning, team. Here's a mess, but we're done making excuses around here. Everybody else is still in bed, so we gotta be a little quiet. Today we're going over why 17-year-old me was an idiot, why you don't have to be, why working for free is the best thing I've ever done, and why you should do it too. Let's go. 17-year-old me was an idiot. He was doing everything because he thought he was supposed to do it, or somebody else thought it was a good idea. But what I was doing at the time didn't really fit with where I saw myself in the future. The first job I ever remember really wanting as a kid was to be an architect. I was able to take a bunch of design courses in high school, and I really started to become good at it. It even led to a small internship between my grade 11 and 12 year, where I was working for a local architect in my hometown in Dundas. And I, even in my 12th grade year of high school, won a competition at a local college. We were given a drawing and we were supposed to duplicate it. So that was all well and good, but somewhere along the line, I stopped figuring out how to be an architect. The closest thing to architecture that's around me and where all my friends are going is going to be engineering. So I applied for engineering at McMaster. It was the only program I applied to, and I got in. 2.5 years, 3 years, 2 programs, and $20,000 later, I figured out it was something that I really didn't have a passion for, and despite maybe being a little bit better than average at it, it was not something that I saw myself doing for the rest of my career. One of my very first memories is sitting in my dad's lap and watching him play the original Legend of Zelda, and from there it was all over. One of my biggest passions has always been video games, so I decided I didn't know how I was going to make it work. I didn't know what avenue I wanted to take, but I knew I wanted to work in video games. So fast forward to the end of all that schooling, I was living on my own, working a part-time job, and I wasn't doing anything with my free time other than playing video games, so I thought, why not start to try to find a job in the gaming sphere? I found an outlet called Collegiate Star League that was going to let me write articles for free. They didn't have a budget or anything like that, and that was totally okay with me at the time. I just thought, man, this would be a really cool opportunity, and I could meet some awesome people doing this. And as it turned out later, I made a couple of connections at that company that would end up getting me a job further down the road. And that was just the very first example of that. Every single job I've had as a part of my adult life is because I started working for free. Working for free writing articles, and then I started getting into a little bit of community management. Eventually that led to a full-time position with a company called PvP Live. I was doing all of their community management. Eventually I picked up photography and videography as a hobby and decided I wasn't really happy with what I was doing in the esports world anymore, and decided, hey, I am seeing all these awesome travel YouTubers taking off and traveling all over the place, and I always knew that I didn't want to stay in the same place all my life. The opportunity arose for me to quit my job after having saved a bunch of money. I wanted to try to save on as many costs as I could, so ahead of my trip, I started reaching out to groups of hostels saying, hey, I'm just kind of new at this photography and videography thing. Maybe I could stay in one of your hostels in exchange for me creating some content. A group called Slumber Party Hostels I reached out to and had set up like 3 or 4 days free stay in one of their hostels right when I was getting to Thailand. They ended up liking the content that I created for them so much, they asked me to stay there and do all of their photography, videography, marketing from the previous experience that I had doing community management and all of that. All of that led into me living in Thailand for free for 8 months and paying for this brand new camera. None of that would have happened if I wouldn't have reached out and said, hey, can I do this like super cool thing for you for basically for free? That's one of the biggest stepping points in my entire career, and it was all because I offered to do some free work for 3 nights stay in a hostel. Upon getting back, I always knew that I had a passion for music and live music and DJs. So I reached out to our biggest club in Hamilton, city of over 500,000 people, and just said, hey, I'd love to shoot some stuff for free for my portfolio. This is something that I think I want to do later in my career. What do you think about me coming in to shoot the shows for free, and I'll give you all the content and keep all the stuff to keep in my portfolio? Fast forward a year, and I have a great working relationship with them. I get paid to do some of their marketing stuff previous to all the shutdowns, and I'm allowed into the club whenever I want to shoot stuff for my portfolio going forward into the rest of my career. All the skills that I developed from that nightclub also allowed me to land an interview with the largest nightlife company in Toronto, Inc. Entertainment. And they brought me in to shoot one of their Saturdays at Rebel, which is the largest club in Canada. That never would have happened if I hadn't reached out to the club in Hamilton and said, hey, I'd love to shoot some stuff for you. All of the work leading up to this point got me to my job at Bad Axe Throwing and at the World Axe Throwing League. I was told explicitly when I was hired for this job, I was the chosen candidate specifically because I had all of this previous experience marketing and copywriting and doing all this stuff that other people didn't have in their portfolio. None of that would have happened if I hadn't worked for free. Everything I've learned and still continue to learn on a daily basis is all based on resources online, previous work experience, existing work experience, and soaking in all the knowledge from the people around me that know more than I do. All right, I'm gonna keep going with this, but I gotta get ready to go to a birthday party for one of my friends this afternoon. So I'll take you along for that, and then we'll continue while we're there and while I'm running some errands later. The party's at a studio downtown, and we got told to show up wearing pastel colors, so this is gonna have to do because that's all I've got. I'm also taking the whole camera bag because everybody at the party is gonna be models and photographers, and I gotta be prepared. I have no idea how to find this place because I've never been here before, so we're gonna go on an adventure together. Well, this has the address on it, I'm not sure. I'll give Maddie a call and find out. Hello? Good. Are you guys here? I'm out front. Sweet. Thank ya. Bye. Hello!
You kill me. Stop.
Remember when I told you I was gonna start?
Yes!
Yeah.
I love it!
That's today.
Blake fucking shows up vlogging. This is what happens when you invite photographers to your birthday party? God.
Maddie, I love it so much. Thank you for inviting me over. I had a great time this afternoon. I got some other stuff I have to finish up tonight, but I hope your birthday goes really well this week, and I'm stoked you've got some time off work to enjoy it, so I'll see you soon. Alright, so here's the deal. You suck. And it's okay, because we all did. I'm 3 years into this, and I still think I suck sometimes. That's never gonna go away. But the best part about this for you is that this is when you're gonna be able to take in the most amount of information and be able to apply it the fastest you've ever done in your career. When you first start out, nobody's going to run through your door kicking and screaming to give you money in order for you to work at your profession. You need to remember that payment doesn't always have to be in the form of money. It can be in money, yes, that's definitely true, but it can also be in learning new skills. It can be in networking with people you would never have a chance to meet, and it can be building towards future opportunities. What's going to happen is as you start out in your career, you can think of it a little bit like a progress bar. Eventually, when you start out working for free, you're going to be working for free specifically to build new skills. Once you get towards the end of the bar, that's when the free work you want to be doing is just specifically to build your network of people and to help yourself with future opportunities. There's a very good chance most of the high-level opportunities that you're going to get in your career are going to entirely come from just who you know. So building that network of connections is absolutely vital to your success later in your career. Yes, there's a baseline that you have to have in terms of knowing the skill of your equipment or whatever creative medium you decide to go into, but after that, it's all about who you know. There's two things you want to be wary of when you start doing this work for free at the beginning. 1, watch out for people who are sourcing you to come do free work. And 2, the people that you work for free at the beginning are not going to be long-term clients. Over-deliver, yes, and treat them the way you would any other client, but don't expect to be with them for a long time. Unless you're super passionate about a free job posting that's been posted, there's very little chance that you're going to be able to mount any sort of traction from that, because most people who post jobs looking for free help don't see the intrinsic value in the type of creative work that you're doing, and won't be able to provide you with very much input on what you're going to do to get better and move forward. So when is then a good time to stop working for free? My argument is never, as long as you're excited about the project and it's something that brings value to you in any of the ways that I've previously mentioned. The further you get into your creative work, the more you're going to be able to easily tell who's trying to take advantage of you for free and who's just excited about the opportunity to work with you. And if the latter type of person is the type of person that you'd want to work with on an exciting project, I say by all means, go ahead and do it. That's part of why we got into this, is because we love doing it so much. It's now Sunday morning and I'm editing with my coffee, and I realized I didn't really give you guys an ending to that video, so I just wanted to give you a couple of key takeaways from everything that you just learned. Firstly, don't feel pressured to go to university or college right out of high school. Being 26, almost 27, I know so many people now who are just finishing up degrees at 24, 25, 26, and in some cases it's their second degree because they went through school for an entire 4 years and picked the wrong degree to start with. Second is that it's totally possible now to get work in a field that typically required a degree. Most people in my line of work would absolutely look to get a marketing degree before they went and applied for any of the jobs that I've been working in the last several years. I was able to acquire these jobs based solely on previous job experience and everything else that I've done leading up to this point. And then the big points. You need to remember working for free often leads to amazing paid opportunities in the future. Growing your network of people should be your #1 priority as you enter the beginning and middle stages of your career. And lastly, that payment doesn't always have to be in the form of money. Hopefully some of that information was helpful, or you learned something new about me. If any of this stuff sounds interesting to you, feel free to stick around, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.
I just like put my hands full of syrup on the way out. And I was just like, what the fuck? And like looked at the guy and he was like, yeah, I'll get something for you.
Don't feel pressured to go to university or high school right